Hey guys, Frederick Bump here. Just figured I'd make a little video for you all on my Nitro tmaxx that has been modified by a professional racer myself. I wouldn't call myself a professional. I did race with some pros, but I gotta kind of up talk myself. But anyway, so here's a tmaxx. Awesome condition. I think you guys will love to see this thing. It's I'll tell you a little bit about it. I actually paid $30 for it, believe it or not, but it was the old 2.5 chassis, and it was all destroyed. And when I got it, I literally bought every single part that it needed to make it better than it would be from the factory. They're around $500, and this one here, I'm only asking $300 for, and it's literally it's fixed the defects that the factory units have. And so not only have I fixed defects that happen with these vehicles, but I've also upgraded parts, for example, that I'll get into. What else? Obviously, these wheels here are not cheap. Between $60 to $80 a set. I actually have a $120 set that is a very nice set of wheels, but I'd want a premium for those. But these would come with the vehicle. Let's see what we got under the hood, guys. I know you guys saw her scream like a raped ape, but you didn't get to really get any detail on this other than my paragraph writing in the comment or description section of the post I made. So what we have got here, so make sure the camera can see this. Alright, so what we've got here, in fact, you know what, I'll just do this. What we've got here is, this is the battery that I use. I know it's not the best, but normally there's, what was here? Normally there's something here stock, and I switched out so I could fit a battery in here, a LiPo, because otherwise it would only take a nickel metal hydride battery, and LiPos run much longer, faster, and make your wheels, like nickel metal hydride, when you go to turn your wheels, they'll be like slow. But with a lithium polymer, these wheels will bing, 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 you know. As you can see, my steering servo is a high-tech 5645 mg, very good servo as long as you're giving it LiPo power. And then my steering is even better. Oh, by the way, that's like a $40 servo. And then this one here is the $80 servo. Has 400 ounces of torque, and it does it in 1/10 of a second, meaning that it can turn left to right in 1/10 of a second at 400 ounces of torque. As you can see, these blue tie rod ends or links, the blue is upgraded RPM plastics that are more durable, and they're longer, so they have more thread bitten into them, so they don't pull out. It's got a skid plate, which kind of hides some things I'd like to show you, but a skid plate is nice to have, so that way dirt, like obviously this is the front and this is the back, but say this was the front and you want to protect this, you want to protect this area from debris and whatnot. This is your center drive shaft to your differential. What else we got here? I have more of the tie rods that are upgradable. I didn't have to upgrade them all. I just did the front end, the side that needs it the most. And then another important upgrade is they come with, I believe, a 125cc gas tank that's mounted right here, like so. Boom, 2 screws there, 2 screws there, something like that. The fuel tank sits here, period. And it's pretty small, and the cap on it leaks air. And so what I did was grab the fuel tank from a Mugen Truggy that has 150 cc's of fuel, and so now I have much longer runtime. And not only that, but also I no longer have a leak that the stock system gives you. I try to make my lines as short as possible, unless it's a fuel line. Fuel line, sometimes I like to wrap around just to get a little bit more fuel, because the more fuel line, the more fuel you'll have. It's essentially expanding your fuel tank. But the shorter the line, the more direct the fuel is going to be. So since I have a big enough tank already, I decided to just run directly to the fuel inlet on the carburetor. As far as pressure, this is so your exhaust obviously has a lot of pressure in there when it's firing or the cylinder's turning. Puts the exhaust pressure through here and forces fuel, puts pressure in the fuel tank and forces it out into the carburetor. Let's see what else. This engine has been upgraded with a 100. It looks a little dirty right there. Let me see if I can get a better angle. This engine normally comes with a plastic carburetor that is absolutely horrible. Little surface corrosion, nothing a little WD can't fix. But yeah, this carburetor here is called the OS 11K slide carb. In fact, let me take the filter right off. This is the 11K slide carb from OS. Looks a little dirty again, I apologize, but it's $100 for one of those. And I mean, just the carburetor, the wheels, and the exhaust and servo alone costs more than $300. That's not even, so you're basically getting a car for free, that, even less than what you'd be paying retail. And on top of that, you have my expertise. I hate to say it because I hate to sound like I'm Mr. Know-It-All, but I have raced. I understand suspension, how it should be set up. I understand differentials. I understand basically everything there is to know about these. Obviously, I think I might have mentioned this, the upgraded THS pipe. It saves fuel economy, and instead of being a low-end torque engine or pipe, it gives you more high-end pipe. It's a dual chamber pipe. Dual chamber pipes give you more high-end and save fuel. Single chamber pipes give you more low-end torque but use a lot more fuel. So it's just a matter of gearing it properly. What I run is I believe a 21 tooth clutch bell and a 56 tooth spur gear. In fact, I know that's what it is. A 56 tooth spur gear and a 21 tooth. It's either 20 or 21 tooth pinion, but the spur is definitely 56, and it's the perfect balance gear ratio for this engine. Oh, and also, speaking of engine, not only has this engine been upgraded with the OS carb, but it's also been rebuilt, new piston sleeve, Boca bearing ceramic, which was about $40-50 for a ceramic bearing in the rear, because these engines are notorious to have bearings go bad before break-in's even finished. What else have I done to this puppy? I do have adapters to make, or wheels that'll adapt. Normally, this vehicle sits, I'm trying to give you an idea of, see what we got here. Okay, so normally this vehicle here is, this wide with the stock wheels, stock arms, stock everything. You can get 1/2 inch offset wheels that'll make it wider, more stable. But the way this is right now, it hooks and goes, and definitely peps on. So $300 I would accept for what is exactly shown here, and there's well over $300 worth of retail here. If you're trying to buy a new one, I would guarantee you this is better than a new one. Guarantee you it's better than a new one. Because if you buy a new one, you're just going to have to replace everything that I just mentioned anyways. And it's just going to be a nightmare, and you're not going to know how to do it since it's your first vehicle. I've had over 20 vehicles, and I have experience dealing with this kind of stuff. So if anybody has any RC related questions, want to buy this vehicle, just give me a holler. My email is f.davidbump@gmail.com. Again, my email is f.davidbump@gmail.com. I'll leave that in the description. As always, your friend David Bump here, always covering a wide array of news, whether it's RC cars, car audio, anything electrical, pellet gun related, self-defense related, a lot of things coming up the pipeline that may not be out yet, but that I mentioned. Just trying to build a channel that everybody enjoys, that a lot of guys enjoy. I try to make it as expansive as far as topics as possible to attract as many viewers as possible. Not for the money, sure, that's a plus, but I do it to spread the knowledge so everybody can get into this hobby. And the more people that are in this hobby, the cheaper it will be. And so that's good news for everybody. So yeah, I mean, that's really all I've got to show you. I mean, other than, let me show you the plush suspension on this thing. Let's see how plush she actually is. Alright, so pretty good. Pretty plush. Pretty plush. I go through my differentials. All of my differentials I do go through, and because from the factory all they do is put grease in them, and differentials are supposed to have silicone oil in them, and unfortunately they did not use silicone oil. So I'm using silicone oil, upgraded the stock diffs with silicone oil to make the differentials handle better. But yeah, anyway, any more questions, hit me up. Like I said, I am selling this puppy. It screams like a demon, and you will not regret any purchase, because this is a deal. And here I am being Mr. Salesman, but I'm telling you, it's a matter of fact that you will pay more than twice as much to get this vehicle if you bought one brand new. Plus, you're getting my knowledge shared to you, which is plenty of experience. So, all right, guys. I know there's plenty of you guys out there with experience as well, and I hope you guys can share some of that with me. I like to learn. I like to be schooled. I like to learn as much as I can. Throw the hate at me. Throw whatever you want. I'd like to learn. What am I doing wrong? You can be polite. My videos are a little unprofessional. I'm not in a white room with the car. I'm working on it. I want my subscribers to be happy. And, yeah. So I figured while I'm trying to sell this vehicle, I figured I'd share the rest of that with you guys. So anyways, this is Frederick Bump here, as always, also known as David Bump, or F. David Bump, Frederick David Michael Bump. Either way, it doesn't matter. You can call me Bump or Dave or Frederick, whatever floats your boat, and we can go from there. All right, people, have a good one.